Hi everyone. Steady my camera here for me. Get it so it's at the right angle. This is my first kind of like chat. I'm not going to be filming anything outdoors. This is just an inside video talking here in my van. I was talking about in some of the earlier videos about talking about things that are kind of going on in my life, so I thought I'd kind of explain that a little further. I have been in the transportation industry for 29 years, 30 years next year. And, I'm not going to make this video anything about trucking, or at least try not to make much of it of trucking. This is about living in a van and all the circumstances that surround living in a van. However, one of the reasons that I'm going into the van and one of the reasons I'm talking about moving to different situations is because as I get older, I have to have, every year in trucking, have to have a DOT physical, which is fairly extensive. I've had several medical issues through the years that makes getting the physicals and passing them a little more difficult than it used to be when I was younger. So, not to get into real specifics, high blood pressure is part of it, but every year now, instead of a 2-year physical, I got to go for just a 1-year because of the high blood pressure and a couple of other related issues. I have a hearing loss as well. They have a certain test they do during a DOT physical, which is a hearing test, and I'm finding that more difficult to pass. So anyway, quite a change coming up in my life. I'm going to be moving, it looks like at the moment, down to Phoenix, Arizona. Because what I'm looking to is to get out of the trucking industry and move into some other type of field. I would love to stay doing what I'm doing, which is basically I'm an instructor. I teach students how to drive big rig trucks, and I've been doing that for almost 17 years. But it's more difficult without getting really detailed and hopefully boring all of you. Because up here where I live, my possibilities to moving on from trucking to something else is a lot more limited. And moving down to Phoenix opens up more job possibilities to me because I still like driving, I still like teaching. So I'm trying to see if I can find something in that field down there where I don't have to necessarily pass a physical every year. If I could find something like that that paid well enough, that would work out really great. I also am getting ready this next year to start collecting Social Security. And it's not going to be a lot of money. And I think some of the other YouTube people that, without referring to names, they were forced out of their careers and they're living off Social Security and, of course, whatever they're doing with YouTube. So my goal is to move down there, and I think I mentioned earlier in my first video that to buy maybe a manufactured home or another RV of some form once I'm down there, once I'm secured and I'm working. So it's a major change to go from doing what I've been doing and then switching to do something that's going to be different. But it's just the way it is. Life's tough, but and it's not fair. Things happen and you got to move on no matter what. And so I've equipped the van to be able to handle, I'm thinking at least 6 to 7 months worth of living in. And this time of year down in Phoenix, Arizona, it's starting to cool down where, I can live in the van comfortably, sleep at night without worrying about overheating and also not worrying about it getting too cold. So that's my thinking on that. And, it's just one of those things that, as you go through life, things are going to change. It's just the way it is. And, where you habitate, where you live, your jobs, your physical condition, especially as you get older, things just start changing. And, of course, I realized that a while back. So I'm on my own. So, I'm living in my van. I have a good job up here, but I've never had benefits in the last number of years. I have not gone on Obamacare, you know, and that's a whole subject we could get into, but I'm not going to. You know, I chose not to sign up for it. You know, my only statement about it is, you know, just the deductibles are way too high. You're talking $6,000-7,000 for a more minimum plan. And when are you going to ever use up that deductible? You know, you're going to be spending that $6,000 first before you even get into what, you know, the real bills might be. So anyway, not getting into that again, I don't want to get off the subject matter. I live in my van, and you know, my life is now surrounding that. But a goal would be at this point is to work full time for a little while and go back from being somewhat semi-retired, which I am now, working just part-time, to working full-time a little bit just to take care of a few issues. But you know, I enjoy my life the way it is. I enjoy not working every day. And you know, when Social Security kicks in a little bit later, that'll make it even easier. I might be able to completely exist with that, but right now it's not going to be collected until May. So you know, we're talking 7 months away. So I have to plan in the meantime, in the immediate future. And so that's kind of what's going on. I'm also have things in storage, which I'm going to have to go through and make sure that I get rid of things, because I really can't put much more in the van. This is about as stuffed as I want it to be. I mean, I don't want to be living where I'm crawling around in here and, you know, where it's bad enough that I can't stand up, but, you know, I don't want to have boxes stacked all over the walls or behind me, you know, or I'm making a video and the boxes are like this, and I'm, you know, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, was kind of what's going on in my personal life and why moving's going to probably happen for me and why. So anyway, that's it. It's just kind of a quick video talking about that. And again, I appreciate support from everybody. And if you've liked the video, please like. And again, if you'd like to subscribe, please do. And so I guess I will talk to you next time. So you guys have a great night, and we'll see you down the road.